grips, it is fear. You're absolutely, it's one of these cases where far from trying to set the two of you at each other, I'm agreeing with both of you, right? This is where I always feel. I feel like I'm always between.
You don't do that, Josh.
I'm just always feel like I'm like the child, but like, Mom, Dad, don't fight. But when you're in the grips of that fear, you're absolutely right. But the chemicals it is producing in your mind, after a while, it becomes impossible to tell the difference between certain emotions. So the love you're being programmed to feel, you actually start feeling after a certain point.
Called Stockholm syndrome.
Absolutely.
It's not love. It's
possibly maybe, but that's why in The Bronx Tale, like one of probably every philosophy one's favorite movie, they brought up that question: is it better to be loved or feared?
Yeah, look,
but if you can get those two to intermingle with a fresh amount of nationalism,
I'm not saying that it's never existed or it's never happened or it's never blah blah blah. I'm just pointing out it's also happened where they didn't give a fuck about your love, and then whatever love it is, it's a historical point of view of people who were caught in the middle of a situation where it was either you acquiesce or you get fucking killed, and sometimes those acquiescence moved up statuses, so it's better to just show up acting like you did care about the dictator, because hey, at least you get to be in a nice house and you get most of your rations.
I couldn't put that, because that falls under a good amount of scapegoatism. It also, you saw your fortunes wrapped up in this person and you support them. You see your nationalism or your spirituality wrapped up in this person, and so you support them. But you see that this person places themselves socially and economically where it seems like nothing's going to happen without them. Like, there are a lot of I agree, there are a lot of components that can go into it, but you can't get to the level of a Chairman Mao without the people's even real love, fake love, acquiescence, fear. Without the people, you're just a man. You need the masses.
Yeah,
They would have stabbed Caesar a hell of a lot sooner if he did not have the masses with him.
He had the masses, and I mean, even when on the subject of Caesar and what that love would bring, when they would give a general a triumph in Rome, they would bring him into Rome, they would give him the wreath, and he had literal run of the city for the entire day. But there was a man who was designated to stand next to the man who was being given the triumph. And his job was literally to lean into his ear and remind him that he was mortal and he was going to die someday because of the sheer intoxication of this moment, right? Yeah. This guy was like the ultimate boner kill. He's like, dude, I can fuck the entire city and you're trying to bring me down. But that was his job, literal job.
Yeah, well, I think it's important to point out dictators versus other things. Like, there are multiple levels of leadership that can fall into some sort of despot action. I'm literally saying dictators can fall into, yes, getting it by love, or literally presenting a situation that is so fatal to the immediacy of their area that it goes with the acquiescence. And just because you happen to make money doesn't necessarily mean it's what they wanted.
Well, I think as always, we dig into quite a lot.
No, but that's right. I mean, I gotta, but you see, but that's the point. You know what I mean? You backed your horse. You see, but you see what I'm saying? But that's the point. You backed your horse, and then you have to follow that too.
You're making it seem like they want to be in the race, though. That's where the argument breaks down. Is you're making it seem like people want to always be in that race. A lot of times, people don't even want to be anywhere near it. They don't have a choice. So it's either literally you fight it, you become a rebel, or you just go with the system and you happen to have some sort of support that comes with it. It's no different in any government, whether we want to call it a dictatorship or not, whether it's won by love or not.
Well, these are, we often delve into the deep questions that could lead us down that particular rabbit hole for a long time. But I definitely, Greg, the main event there. I totally give that up to you for sure. You know,
I do what I can.
I think actually you even flipped the subject, which was the hero that became the villain that was the hero that was the villain. I mean, it's, you know, you literally,
That's
you
what
literally twisted that around to that figure eight, you know, into that figure eight right there with that.
And the fact that she was right.
You know,
This is how you become the ruler of this world.
Absolutely. You know, there's, well, and she'd been shown in the end, she'd been shown nothing else, and no one else would have done any differently had they been in her shoes. So, you know, it's just, we were so shocked really because of quote unquote everybody
would have lost the dragon to a bunch of boats that were sitting right there and were in clear view for everyone in King's Landing. I know that's it.
I myself, I always leave it to Tyrion's quote at the Battle of the Blackwater. He's like, "Don't fight for riches, there be none. Don't fight for honor, there's no such thing. Don't fight for your families because they don't care. Now those are brave men out there. Let's go kill them." Best goddamn rally speech I have ever heard. It was like perfect, right? Absolutely nailed my worldview in that regard. So,
yeah, that was what, season 3.
That was. I love the epic battles myself. I always, you know, those are the ones. Like if I ever, like, you know, if I ever want to go back and rewatch it, I may just do like a whole night of battles and just like watch like all the various epic battles they set up, because I always thought they did a great job on those individually. But all right, well, another week, another very interesting subject delved into. Really liked it. Really liked always, you know, trying to see Riley, the villains we love and why we love them. But I think this one was deep. I think this one really got into some deep subject matter. There's no two ways that, you know, really it's not, you know, it also goes, as I say, going to our earlier episode there. There's nothing worse than a 2-dimensional villain, right? That's why that 3-dimensional villain, the one that makes you think, the one that makes you question their motivation and what's going on, and, you know, are they really the villain? Is the antithesis of that. Like, what's the best, you know, what's the best in writing? What's the best that we can come up with and make us question ourselves?
You know, I left this off my list, but I have to say it out loud. Thanos was right, and literally the first 45 minutes of Endgame proves my point, because everyone was actually kind of chill with the change. Everyone was kind of like, you know what? One more room. Just saying.
Leave it, Schraben.
No one was fighting for that little middle weird thing on the airplane. So everyone was like, "Nah, man, we got the middle seat. We're good."
Thanos was right.
Leave it, Schraben.
I was just saying, like, my man just went back. My man went back to farming after, like, melons, alien melons for the rest of my life.
My problem with that was, all right, you now have infinite power, and this is the best that you can do.
Because that's all he wanted.
Wasn't very imaginative.
You know what
I mean?
Listen, he became basically a Seinfeld episode turned into a mutant mega power. Like, there's too much room.
And let's not forget, going on the theory that he's immortal. I mean, this half like populate, they're just gonna start fucking again. So in about 100 or
wait, who said he's immortal?
You're just gonna have to do it again, but you fucked off and wrecked the stones.
He's not immortal. I mean, the guy's literally.
It's not like people are gonna stop having sex. If anything, you open new opportunities. Just saying.
Right.
And now you got rid of the gauntlet, and everybody's fucking. You know, like, it's just.
He won't be around. He's not immortal. I don't know where you got that from. He won't be around. He literally wants to date death.
Maybe if he'd really thought about it, it was like the genie's wish, and maybe he made everybody sterile as well. So it was like half the universe and then the rest of the other half. Dude, who knows? I mean,
Children of Men is one of the freakiest, scariest.
Oh yes, absolutely.
Children of Men, classic.
Oh yeah, well we can. Let's again. We know some of those things.
I don't know if you checked the rates, but we're kind of moving into it.
We'll get there. Let's at least get through this Let's at least get through this pandemic first. One thing at a time. One existential crisis at a fucking time. But did we open up?
Like that kid getting his ass kicked. Finally getting his ass kicked at recess. Talking shit like all year long. And finally, the kid's like, all right, we got 2 more days left, so we're just going to fuck this kid up. Like, throw a timeout. Like, timeout! No, timeout! Shut up!
Man, did we open up Pandora's box with this one? Good times in that regard. All right.
You grew up in the 80s. You could fight in recess.
Well, 3 of clubs. How you want to lead us out this week?
I think I just said, man, we grew up in the 80s. You could fight in recess and literally that
was the point of recess.
Just no discipline, no nothing. Just
nothing.
Go back to class. Everyone's like, and the best part is we were all still operating on the no snitch policy. So everyone was like, what happened to Billy? Everyone's like, fell off the.
I don't know.
I don't know. We don't have a slide. Yeah, it's damnedest thing.
It's like Martin Sheen and Monument Ave. You were in the bathroom. You're new to this. You were in the bathroom, just so you know. All right, Gregory, the Star Child. What you thinking there after your main event here?
Oh no, that was a good feeling. I feel like I've been, because usually when I bring up that point, I get shut down by the other Game of Thrones fans. So that felt good. I feel refreshed. That was energizing. I liked it.
Nah, I thought there was always way too much complaining about the Game of Thrones ending. And, fact of the matter is, once you took out all the other people you took out, there was nobody else but Bran left. And that was just a deal. It was like, all right. Part of it was like, and I'm a nerd here, so I get this, but we also had like several things going on in this country at that particular time. And I don't even know if I can't even remember when that was before the fucking pandemic. Okay. We had some like really major shit going on in this country. And we had people signing petitions to redo that season, right? They wanted to this was what they got together and decided to organize about. All right. And I was like, fuck you. You take your Bran. He's your king. Shut the fuck up. All right.
Actually,
dude, 7 years ago, this country literally had petitioned because our current president at the time wore a tan suit.
You can't forget that.
Tan suit gate.
Tan suit gate. Yes.
Yeah.
Let's all have a moment of silence.
Seated coffee cup gate. There's
that, and don't forget, Greg. By the way, Crystal Knock apparently was really just a bunch of tourists. So I'm just that we were barring the door against, apparently, but they were just tourists. Don't worry about it.
We were barring the door.
Don't worry about it. It's all good. All right. Well, with that, nothing else I can really add any more to this and that subject. But come on back next week. We want you to join us as we bring on in our next subject. Please join us on the socials. We are on the Steam Gentleman on Facebook. We are Do You Even Steam Bro on the Instagram. Can I say the Instagram? I think that's the way. If you feel like writing to us, telling us we're full of shit, because that's, really, honestly, we get it. We understand. We are at doyouevensteambro@gmail.com. And if you would, love us, hate us, what have you, please head on over to iTunes and review us. We really would prefer if you give us the old 5-star, but we get it. But maybe you can throw the 5-star up and then throw in the insults. We're cool with that. But anything you can do to help us out, help spread the nefarious agenda of ruling the world through pop culture observations of the Steam Gentleman. Anything we can do there to help that out, anything you can do for us, we really appreciate it. We're working.
Tell a friend to tell a friend.
Yeah, tell a friend to tell a friend. Working on a few more things behind the scenes, trying to help spread the steam, spread that nefarious agenda. But in the meantime, we want you all to be well, be safe, be healthy. Keep that heat up and keep that head of steam on.
That's the reason I said fuck Joe Rogan. I know a lot of people are jumping on the Joe Rogan bandwagon. Fuck that guy.
Fuck that guy. No, I don't like Joe Rogan.
You make excuses for Alex fucking Jones.